Go ahead and call this meeting of the Moberly City Council to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Lucas.
Here.
Kimmons. Here. Kaiser.
Here.
McEwen.
Here.
Graff.
Here.
Okay, everybody's seen a copy of the agenda and it has been published. I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's council meeting.
So move.
We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye. All opposed? The agenda has been approved. We've also got the approval of the council minutes for June 29th and July 9th, which was also presented to you in your packet. Would entertain a motion to approve the minutes for June 29th and July 9th, please.
So moved.
Got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor for the approval of the minutes signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The minutes have been approved. Mr. Bogowski, recognition of visitors. No visitors this evening? Okay. Well, at this time, I'd like to let everybody know we've obviously got quite a crowd here tonight. You guys sounded really good during the Pledge of Allegiance. If you want to speak to the council, please come up, grab a green card from the clerk, put your name, address, and we will allow you to address the council a little bit later in the meeting. You will have 4 minutes to do so. If you happen to be in the middle of a thought, we won't cut you off, but we'll try to keep it right around the 4-minute mark while addressing the council. So we'll let you know when the time comes to do that. As with most weeks, we do have a consent agenda. Is there any item on the consent agenda that any of the council members would like to have removed to talk about separately? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for the reading of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Got a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor for the reading of the consent agenda signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Please read the consent agenda one time.
Bill number R1671, a resolution accepting permanent sewer easements for the Route JJ Regional Sewer Project. Bill number R1672, a resolution accepting the proposal of Summit Mechanical Incorporated to make sewer line repairs at Fire Station Number 1. And bill number R1673, a resolution authorizing the purchase of a police mobile command vehicle from Ed Morse Chevrolet GMC North.
Thank you very much. Any additional discussion regarding tonight's consent agenda? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor of the approval of the consent agenda signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The consent agenda has been approved. Ordinances and resolutions. Number 5, an ordinance. Mr. Kaiser.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have an ordinance authorizing an application for a federal block grant to construct T-hangars at the Omar Bradley Airport. Asked to be read twice for consideration.
Thank you. We have a motion for the reading of the ordinance. Is there a second?
Second.
We've got a second. All those in favor of the reading of the ordinance signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? First reading, please.
An ordinance authorizing an application for a federal block grant to construct T-hangars at the Omar N. Bradley Airport.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, second reading, please.
An ordinance authorizing an application for a federal block grant to construct T-hangars at the Omar N. Bradley Airport.
Last chance for any further discussion. We have a motion for the approval of the ordinance.
Moved.
We've got a motion. Do we have a second? We need a vote, don't we?
We need a motion first.
Oh, yeah, okay. We got a second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry. Roll call, please. Roll call.
Lucas.
Yes.
Kimmons.
Yes.
Kaiser.
Yes.
McEwen.
Yes.
Graff.
Yes.
The ordinance has been approved. Number 6, an ordinance. Ms. Graff.
Mr. Mayor, I have an ordinance approving a mutual aid agreement with the Missouri Public Utilities Alliance, and I ask that it be read twice for consideration and passage.
Thank you. All those in favor we have a motion for the reading of the ordinance. Is there a second?
Second.
We've got a second. All those in favor for the reading of the ordinance signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? First reading, please.
An ordinance approving a mutual aid agreement with the Missouri Public Utility Alliance.
Any further discussion regarding the ordinance? Hearing none, second reading, please.
An ordinance approving a mutual aid agreement with the Missouri Public Utility Alliance.
Thank you. Last chance for any further discussion. Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
We've got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Roll call, please.
Lucas,
Yes.
Kimmons,
Yes.
Kaiser,
Yes.
McEwen,
Yes.
Graff.
Yes.
Thank you. The ordinance has passed. Number 7, an ordinance. Mr. Kimmons.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have an ordinance approving a cooperative agreement with Moberly Area Community College for ball field fencing, and I ask that it be read twice for consideration of passage.
Thank you. We have a motion for the reading of the ordinance. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor for the
I'll second that.
we've got our second. All those in favor for the reading of the ordinance signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? First reading, please.
An ordinance approving a cooperative agreement with Moberly Area Community College for ball field fencing.
Thank you. Any further discussion regarding the ordinance? Hearing none, second reading, please.
An ordinance approving a cooperative agreement with Moberly Area Community College for ball field fencing.
Thank you. Last chance for discussion. You have a motion to approve the ordinance.
So move.
We've got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Roll call, please.
Lucas,
Yes.
Kimmons,
Yes.
Kaiser,
Yes.
McEwen,
Yes.
Graff.
Yes.
Thank you. The ordinance has passed. Number 8, an ordinance. Mr. McEwen.
Mayor, I have an ordinance approving a Depot Park Path Improvements reimbursement agreement with Downtown Moberly Community Improvement District, and I ask that it be read twice for consideration.
Thank you. We have a motion for the reading. Do we have a second?
Second.
We've got a second. All those in favor for the reading of the ordinance signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The reading, please.
An ordinance approving a Depot Park Path Improvements reimbursement agreement with the Downtown Moberly Community Improvement District.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Second reading.
An ordinance approving a Depot Park Path Improvements reimbursement agreement with the Downtown Moberly Community Improvement District.
Thank you. Last chance for any further discussion on the ordinance. Hearing none. Do we have a motion for the approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Roll call, please.
Lucas,
Yes.
Kimmons,
Yes.
Kaiser,
Yes.
McEwen,
Yes.
Graff.
Yes.
Thank you. The ordinance has passed. Number 9, a resolution.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I have a resolution appointing Gregory Hodge as interim city treasurer and accepting the appointment by the city manager of Gregory Hodge as interim city collector. Has to be read once for consideration.
Thank you. We have a motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
We've got a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? First and only reading, please.
A resolution appointing Gregory Hodge as interim city treasurer and accepting the appointment by the city manager of Gregory Hodge as interim city collector.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion for the approval of the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, correct? All those in favor for the approval of the resolution signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The resolution has passed. I want to just take a quick note here, and while Mr. Hodge he will become our interim city treasurer, we want to take a second to thank Matt Douglas for his time. I believe you've got 2 days left. Is that correct? You'll be here till Friday. Okay. Well, during your time here, you've done a great job. We appreciate everything that you've contributed to the city. We're going to miss your smiling face at these council meetings, but we do wish you the best moving forward, and thank you for everything that you have done for the city of Moberly. Thank you. Okay, number 10, a resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an electronic business services agreement with the central bank. and authorizing Gregory Hodge to execute an associated resolution of authorization with Central Bank. And I ask that it be read once for consideration.
Thank you. We have a motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
We do have a second. All those in favor of the reading of the resolution signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? First and only reading, please.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an electronic business services agreement with the Central Bank and authorizing Gregory Hodge to execute an associated resolution of authorization with Central Bank.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion regarding this resolution? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor for the approval of the resolution signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The resolution has passed. Number 11, a resolution. Mr. Kimmons.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, a resolution appropriating money out of the treasury of the city of Moberly, Missouri to pay expenses due between June 26, 2024 and July 11, 2024 in the amount of $703,236.21. I ask that it be read once for consideration of passage.
Thank you, sir. We have a motion for the reading of the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor for the reading of the resolution signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? First and only reading.
A resolution appropriating money out of the treasury of the city of Moberly, Missouri to pay expenses due between June 26, 2024 and July 11, 2024 in the amount of $703,236.21.
Thank you. I hereby certify that there is sufficient money standing to the credit of the city of Moberly, Missouri, unappropriated in the funds identified in this resolution to meet the requirements of this resolution. City Treasurer Matthew P. Douglas. Any further discussion regarding the bills? Hearing none. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The resolution has passed. That does it for ordinances and resolutions. As you know, each month the department heads submit a official monthly report on things that have gone on in their offices and things, projects that they're working on, and provide us updates with that. So at this time, I ask any of the council members if you have any questions regarding the monthly reports. Mr. Kaiser.
I have two, and they're both for Troy. Number one, I saw and experienced that you had a great turnout. I'm sorry, Troy Bach. I apologize. Sorry about that, Chief. You had a great turnout for the 4th of July. I thought the event went really well. And so, yes, Troy Lake, Chief, your guys did a great job with traffic as well. But I did want to express that I got a lot of good feedback about it once again this year. It's really exciting. The second thing is I did have a conversation with a couple of the MACC folks from the board, and they are thrilled with the partnership out at Howard Hills with the baseball field. And so I just want to pass that along, that's been going really well. And we expect great things in the future from talking to them as well. So that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Kaiser. Did you have another one? Or was that both
No, that
of
was
them?
the two.
That was both of them. Okay. Anybody else have any questions for any of the department heads?
I have a question for Tom. On the downtown parking study, I know you met with the business owners there, and the goal is to make that area more accessible to folks. That's a busy area with several businesses. So my question to you, in just that block of Coates Street Grill and East, will be adding parking spots to the north side of the street. Is that correct?
What we'll be doing is we'll be revising the traffic so that there's angle parking on the north side, and they suggested parallel parking on the south side. But with the current configuration of driveways and access points, it was going to restrict that down to like 2 in front of On the Corner Grill. It was going to restrict it to 1 parking space over in front of the car wash, Coach Street Car Wash. So meeting with them and making the revisions, I'm suggesting we can have 5 angle parking spaces there in front of the car wash, and making the revisions in front of Coach Street and the Doherty's Tax Service, we can have 4 parallel parking spaces there. So That's
I'm just curious, is the angle going to be the same? I know with our parking inventory study that we did, we had some angle issues on some parts of the downtown area. So will the angles be the same, or are they
Yes.
changing that?
That's 55 degrees will be the north side angle, and so that just, as you increase the angle greater, you have to widen the spaces there, so you lose parking that way. So by making the parallel on the south side, we didn't have to reduce the angle up there.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Any additional questions?
Does anybody else have anything? I have another one.
Go ahead.
For our water department, I noticed that we had several water main breaks in the month of June. I think 6 or 7. Is that a common number? Is that above average? Can you give me an idea of how June ranks in comparison?
Yeah, there you go.
You have to.
Test, can you hear me?
Got it.
In my long history, the 6 weeks I've been here, I don't know Moberly yet, but I can tell you that typically the main break season runs in the peak of winter when the ground is frozen and the pipes can't flex under the ground, or in the heat of summer when you're in a drought when the same thing happens. So again, not knowing Moberly's characteristics yet, from what I hear, we have an unusual amount of main breaks compared to other communities. So I mean, that's about the best I can do at this point. I can follow up if you would like more information.
No, that's fine.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any additional questions for any department heads? I had one, and I guess I'd probably go to Steve. Just on the status of the parking lot by the auditorium. I just keep it a few questions and wanted to be able to provide the appropriate answer.
They poured everybody, you can see, they poured the east half of it last week, and then they've had to let it cure for a week to 10 days so they can put a pump truck on it Thursday. They're going to pour the west half of it on Thursday. So they didn't want to take up any more space on William Street and affect the brick and the other parking. So they let it cure long enough so they can put their pump trucks on the inside. So the concrete should be really close to being done this Thursday, and then they just have to stripe it and put in the light poles, and that should wrap it up.
So we originally thought September, right? That
Yeah, it should be. I think they're shooting now for the 2nd to 3rd week of August.
So we're way ahead of schedule.
Yeah, and they should be done if it wasn't for a couple of material items and a couple different setbacks. So
Fantastic.
they're still on schedule, ahead of schedule, but they could have been done sooner if it wasn't for some material items.
Good.
I have a
Good.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is for you, Steve. I've had a few people ask me, we did tubes to hold the water. And I've had a few people ask me why we didn't do one big tank that would give us more capacity. But my thinking is that this was more solid and sturdy to handle weight of a parking lot as opposed to a big tank.
It makes
Is
sense
that-
to me. That's probably more of an engineer's question, but that makes sense to me.
It makes a
Yeah.
lot, so
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
off base by explaining.
Yeah, and I think, I'd hate to answer that wrong, but I think that the sturdiness probably makes a lot more sense spread out,
Right.
or if one of them were to fail or something, if one big tank,
Sure.
if it fails, the whole thing fails. This
Right.
way, we're split into 6 different compartments. So
Okay.
Makes
Well,
sense.
It's a great project, so.
Ms. Graff, do you have
Steve,
additional?
I'll ask you a question. I'll ask you the same question about the water main break, since you've been here and know the city a little better. How,
I can't tell you for sure if 7 in a week is high for anywhere in the United States. I mean, that's a very high number for 1 week. So there's a lot of different factors that could go in. We have times where there's industries here in town when they check their sprinkler systems. If those can get shut off too fast, they can call what's called a water hammer through our system. It can cause some breaks. We can shut, our staff or whoever, if anybody that touches the fire hydrants, if they shut them off too fast, it can cause the same thing. There's and like Sean mentioned, ground settling from from drought, dry conditions can cause it, but mostly, as we've discussed, most of it attributes just to an aging infrastructure, when it finds some weak spots and it breaks.
So 7 in a week is high, but you would say overall Moberly is above average on,
Oh, yeah. We average about 100 water line breaks a year.
and what do our nearest neighbors do, apparently?
Macon averages 3.
We have a very old infrastructure.
All right. Any other questions for any of the department heads? None? All right. Well, thank you guys for submitting those reports, and thanks for taking the time to fill those out. Those are always very helpful for us in understanding everything that's happening and the appropriate questions to ask. So moving on, under the subheading, anything else to come before the council, we have a consideration of an appointment to the Moberly, Missouri Public Building Corporation. Mr. Bias, do you want to take that, or do you want me to go ahead with it?
Sure. The Public Building Corporation is a entity we have here, owns the golf course property and title, does a couple other things. This is John Meistrick being reappointed to another term on the board.
Very good. Do we have any other discussion regarding the appointment? I will entertain a motion to approve Mr. Meistrick for the appointment to the Moberly Public Building Corporation.
I make that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
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 All opposed? Mr. Meistrick has been approved. Okay, number 14, consideration to move the September 2nd meeting to September 3rd and the September 16th meeting to September 23rd. Does anyone have any objections or discussion on moving the city council meetings to those proposed dates? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion for the approval of the revised dates.
So moved.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Mark your calendars, folks. We've got to change. Okay, moving on. Number 15, which is the time for public comment. So if you do choose to speak to the council, remember that you do have 4 minutes. If you're not here in the beginning, please grab a green card from the clerk, fill it out with your name and address, and we'll call you up. It looks like you're ready to get started. So come on up, introduce yourself, and give us your address. You have 4 minutes.
My name is Jane Johnson, and I live out on Fisk Avenue. And I'm here I've already given you a packet of different forms that are used by the city. And I want there's no time to address them tonight, so I just want to cover the cover letter that I gave to you. Each one of you got a cover letter. So I want to start by saying, I want to thank you for serving as a member of the City Council in our beautiful community, and may God bless you for your efforts. We know as our elected council members, we can depend on you to protect us from government overreach with rules and regulations that violate our rights. So we really appreciate that from each and every one of you. So, we the people of Moberly demand the City Council of Moberly repeal and remove from the Code of the City of Moberly, Missouri, Article 3, Section 1094, dwelling permit required, and Article 5, occupancy permits. This includes ordinances 98, 12, 9263, 8411, 8061. These all violate our constitutional Fourth Amendment, Fourth and 14th Amendment rights, and the Missouri Constitution, Article 1, Section 15. So there is, when you see at the top of your letter there, it says, there's a copy of the Fourth Amendment and the Constitution. It says the right of the people to be secure in their homes, persons, and papers against unreasonable searches. Now, there is an exception to that. The exception is a warrantless search may be lawful if an officer is asked and is given consent. But if consent is forced, it's illegal, okay? So, when I get to the application, so when I get down here, it says, in order to get my water turned on, I have to fill out an application. But as I go through and I look at things, I see we have this ordinance 9812 that requires I get an application and fill it out that's supplied by the city. It also says, well, I'll cover that when I get to that ordinance itself. So the application is what I want to talk about here. And it's kind of deceptive, because when you fill it out, it says, without reading the whole thing, but there's a copy of it here in your file of the whole thing. It said, is firstly mutually agreed by and between the parties hereto that rules and regulations of the city of Moberly, Missouri, which are now in force, or which may be hereafter adopted by said city of Missouri. Okay, so it means we got to follow the rules and regulations of the city and anything that they may approve in the future. Is that correct? But it does not say what these rules and regulations are. And if you sign this petition, you're signing a regulation, you're giving permission to a regulation be enforced that forces you to have an unwarranted inspection of your home. That's a violation of our Fourth Amendment rights and our Missouri rights. So, why would you not want to let us know that we're giving up our constitutional rights when you sign this form? Why does it just say we have to abide by the rules and regulations? So, if I go a little bit further, all residential, and this is in current requirements, all residential units have to have an occupancy inspection before coming in. And utilities also require all occupied units have current occupant information on file. That means if somebody's living in their home and they have a child born, and the child comes into the home, that's a new occupant. They need to be on file with the city. Those of you that have kids or siblings that are living with you, you have them registered with the city utilities department? I don't believe you do. I believe you're all in violation of a code. And I think also, I don't believe any of you have an occupancy permit. Everybody in Missouri and Moberly is required to have an occupancy permit. When you look at Section 5, and you go down to the lower part, it says that availability is for your permit. You go to the utility office and they will give you a copy of your occupancy permit. So I did that. I went to the utility department. There were 4 people working there. They had no idea what I was talking about. We have another person that's here tonight that did the same thing.
Mr. Johnson, I have to
They
ask
said
you
they
to
had no
finish that
idea what
thought.
Pardon?
Well, I have to ask you to finish that thought. We've crossed the 5-minute mark, so I'm going to let you finish that thought and keep going just a little bit, okay?
Okay. Well, when you talk about these codes and all of that, they all come down to we need an occupancy permit and we need an unwarranted inspection. That violates our constitutional rights. But when you have to sign, if you don't sign the agreement to have an inspection, you cannot get an occupancy permit to live in your house, or you cannot have the water turned on. So you are forced to sign that to get the water on. Is that extortion? Maybe that's a little strong, just coercion. But are you coerced into signing to give up your constitutional rights to have the water turned on? I think you are.
Well, I'm going to have to cut you off there. We're way over time, but
Over
I think
time?
we've definitely
Okay.
heard what you're saying. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Johnson
Any questions?
this time?
Okay, I think Dr. Harmston would like to speak next.
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely. Thank you for addressing the council. Mhm. Please state your name and your address, and you'll have 4 minutes to speak to the council, sir.
Alrighty. Carl Harmston, 45 Urbandale, Moberly.
Pleasure to meet you.
I think we've met before in your professional capacity. First, I'd like to say thanks for all the work you do, because Moberly is a great place to live. It really is. Compare it to my daughter who lives in, heaven help us, Oakland, California. But you guys do a good job, and keep it up. What I want to talk about is that we really need to get rid of these ordinances because there are some things there. Part of that occupancy, okay, I have been in violation of that on 3 separate occasions. Our granddaughter came and lived with us for like a year and a half. I didn't know I needed to go and get an occupancy. I've lived in my house for 35 years. Nobody's ever mentioned occupancy. Probably was before the ordinance was passed, so nobody brought it up. I had my grandson live with us for a little over a year. Well, he worked out problems with his family. My son is living with us right now. He and his 4 cats, because he had a heart attack and he was living in Phoenix, and he couldn't go back to work for Amazon. Can't afford it. And there's a fine associated with this, as I read the ordinance. It's like $200 a day. Now, I understand that there was some reason for this, that people were worrying about slumlords. What do they do in the People's Republic of Colombia, south of us? I mean, they've had slumlords out the yin-yang for years. They call them off-campus housing. I think that these need to be revisited, removed, and then worked through it again to accomplish what is needed to be accomplished, which is none of us really want to have slums here. We're all in agreement, but it's like you're taking an 8-pound sledge to pound in a finishing nail. You're way out on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can I ask him a
Any-
question?
Yes, sir. Mr. Kaiser has a question
Yeah,
for you.
I've got a question for you. Who from the city of Moberly has told you that by having a family member come to stay temporarily with you?
I was reading the ordinance.
Okay, but no one from the city of Moberly
No.
has told you that you're in violation?
No.
Okay. I think most of us agree that you're not in the violation by having a family member
Yeah,
come to stay with
but
you temporarily.
under the ordinance.
Again, I respectfully
See,
disagree.
that's why I say you need to revisit it so that it doesn't happen, because it could happen.
So my second point is, while you were talking, I Googled, the city of St. Louis requires occupancy permits just like we do. Blackjack, Missouri requires occupancy permits just like we do. St. Charles County requires occupancy permits.
There's actually
St. Louis
50,
County,
50 communities in the state of Missouri.
yeah, I mean, and
require
that's just the first
occupancy.
page of the Google
Yeah.
website, Town and Country, I mean, City of Bridgeton, we can keep
Yeah.
going here. So I'm curious, what sets them different than us?
I'm not objecting to the occupancy permits. I'm talking about suddenly we've got to sign all kinds of agreements that we don't know what we're signing. You know, it's sort of like when you get a new app on your computer and it says terms and agreements. I mean, who reads those?
Right?
But this doesn't even apparently, from what Gene was saying, he tried to read through it and it didn't say anything. And then when he went to the agency that is supposed to be in charge of enforcing this, they didn't know what he was talking about. So maybe these need to be re-looked at, take them off the books and go back and start over and reread it so that it accomplishes the goal that is to guarantee safe housing. I've noticed in Moberly, we've had several houses that were derelict that have been removed.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, the goal.
Very good. Well, any other questions? No other questions? Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Is there any additional? You've already used your 4 minutes, unfortunately. You're going to be out of order. You can't just speak out of order, unfortunately. Come on up. Please state your name and address, and you'll have 4 minutes to address the council.
My name is Ruth Green. I live at 319 Wisdom Street. I just bought a house last fall, and I like it. And I would hate to have to go through all of these city ordinances that you put out. Thank goodness I didn't have to, because the house I bought was well maintained. But it could have been the other way around and it would have cost me a lot, and I'm just a retired person that doesn't make a lot of money, and some of these ordinances would affect my income largely. So, Sarah Barfield Graff, I want to thank you for your serving as a member of our city council in our beautiful community, and may God bless you for your efforts. We know as our elected council member, we can depend on you to protect us from city government overreach with rules and regulations that violate our rights. So, will you vote to appeal these intrusive codes and ordinances and protect our rights? Yes or no?
Has this been litigated?
Has this been litigated?
Yes.
Part of it's not.
Has a court of law looked at this issue?
I'm sorry.
Has a court of law looked at this issue?
I don't know. I don't have those answers.
Okay, the 4 minutes is unfortunately, it's your 4 minutes, so we've got to speak to you. So is there any other questions? I did have one question for you, and you'd made the comment that you moved into a house that didn't have a lot wrong with it, so it didn't really bother you, as far as income, and all of that. But I do want to ask the question, what if that house hadn't been looked at for several years, and the first 2 weeks you moved into it, that house caught on fire and somebody died in that house? What would you recommend then? Would you recommend no inspections at all? Would you? I'm confused on what the right answer here is.
I wouldn't have bought it. If I can see what's wrong with it, I wouldn't have.
People die in houses all the time if you have carbon monoxide or any of these types of issues.
Okay, I don't have an answer for you.
Fair enough. Thank you for your opinion. Okay, do we have anybody else that wants to address the council? Yes, sir. Come on up. Please state your name and address, and you'll have 4 minutes to address the council.
My name is Marvin Chapman, with a T, no P, and I live at 308 South Moreland. And I just wanted to kind of reiterate what was already said about intrusive knock on the door. We're coming to inspect. You're coming to inspect, and basically, my understanding of it is that we don't have a choice as to whether or not you come to inspect. I mean, I understand if it's an extremely old establishment or something new that needs to be checked to make sure it's up to code before everything is done. But that's where I'm at. As far as having people come live with you, my brother, who was homeless, came to live with me. And if I'm in violation, I mean, I need to understand the wording. I see the wording of it, but I don't understand what that exactly means. Do I need to go through and get all this revisited, or what do I need to do?
Sure.
Just be in compliance with the law, and as far as fines, I'm a retiree on fixed income, and
Makes sense. Sure.
I that's just more juggling than I would have to do, and I just want to know if we can get it to where it's easily understood, so that I know, this is what I need to do to be in compliance. This is what that's where I'm at. I want to know, what I don't want to find out, you've been in violation of this for such and such a time. This is your fine, and pay up or else,
Yeah.
or else what,
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm sitting, and I just want to know if we can get clarification as to what each, I see the wording of it, but, it's kind of vague as to what exactly is compliance, non-compliance. I understand if, like I said, if it's an extremely old house. I live in an extremely old house,
Sure.
And it was inspected by the, I'm not sure who was at the city, to make sure the electrical is up and this and the other. And then to say that it's going to be done, say, every year, that's kind of, what was wrong with it today that wasn't wrong with it yesterday, you know? And the fee that comes along with that for each, you know, residence is something that everybody needs to know.
Sure,
You know?
sure. Very good. Well, thank you for your opinion. We appreciate it very much. Is there anybody else? Norman? Yeah.
Question.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did you guys have any questions for him? I'm sorry.
I like your question you just asked. I'd be curious if you bought a house and there was no inspection, and 2 weeks later the wiring had an issue that was in a wall or whatever that you did not notice, and the house burned down and a family member died. What would be your opinion about the occupancy inspection?
If it's an initial deal, or if it's something that was inspected, say last year, last month, or whatever, just because I moved into it, I shouldn't have to get a re-inspection of it. If it's been recently inspected, and then what recently inspected is, I don't know. Say it's been last year, you know, they say there's something that we could do, that it has to be done annually, or could be done, the invasive part of it. You know, we come to your house, we can come every year, the way I understood it.
My understanding with the yearly thing was for landlords in a rental situation where people move in, they move out, and if anybody follows on Facebook, you constantly see these landlords posting pictures of houses being literally destroyed by tenants. So things can change within that year, as opposed to, say, a homeowner. You're right. You're typically going to take care of it a little more. It's not going to change much in a year, but that was written for landlords that have occupants that are constantly changing. So,
Any other questions? Nope. Thank you very much, sir.
thank you.
Next up, let's hear your name and your address, and you'll have 4 minutes to address the council, sir.
I'm Norman Wright. I live in Mobley, Missouri. And you've heard all the flowery speech, and I'm going to cut to the chase. We believe that some of our rights are being ignored. The City of Mobley's Article 3, Section 1094, dwelling permit required, and Article 5, occupancy permits. This includes ordinances 9812, 9263, 8411, 8061. These all violate our U.S. Constitution, 4th and 14th Amendment rights, and the Missouri Constitution, Article 1, Section 15. My question is to the City Council, will you vote to repeal these ordinances and stop this and help unify our city? I know there's things in our city that need to be cleaned up and addressed, but to charge us for these warrantless inspections is wrong. I do not have the right to just walk into your house to look around. And I sure can't charge you $45 to do it. This is wrong, and we need to change that. Will you vote to change these articles? These ordinances? Will you do that tonight? That's my question.
No, I don't think that's going to be approached tonight. No.
I'll happily answer it. I'll happily answer it.
Go ahead.
Basically, this has been litigated in court. There was a court case in 2001 where a group sued the city of Mobley. It went to a judge, and the judge found that everything was within reason and was in compliance with the U.S. Constitution. So I respectfully disagree about the constitutional rights. Second of all, hang on just a second. Second, you got your time to talk, now I'm going to talk. Our fire chief and our fire department will tell you that these inspections have greatly reduced the number of structure fires we have experienced in our city. That means that has saved significant lives. And as a council member up here, I care about our citizens and I care about the citizens' lives. And so that's another reason why I'm concerned about the occupancies, because I've seen the good of it, where we've seen some of these, we don't go in and say, this house is immaculate, let's go. It's looking at wiring. It's looking at safety issues, life safety issues that, as far as I'm concerned, we have too many slumlords in the past who don't care about that, and those do need to be inspected. And to me, as a homeowner, I feel much better having gone through an inspection because I paid for a home inspection, but now I've got a second level of somebody that knows the codes to make sure that I'm moving my family into a house that's safe. And so for those reasons, I will absolutely not vote to repeal this because, again, it's been verified in the courts We are one of over 50 communities in the state that have the same thing. And until somebody shows me that we're doing something that all these other people are wrong and the judge is against it, I will not repeal it because of the safety issues with saving people's lives. Respectfully.
Any other questions for Mr. Wright? Any other council members? None?
May I remind you that we had a city manager here probably 20 years ago. He came here from Crossville, Tennessee. I know that because that's where my parents had moved from. That's where my dad grew up. And he asked us, if the landlords, a bunch of us, that had taken our business out of town. And I had approached the council just, a few months prior to him coming and showed them that I had between $250,000 and $300,000 worth of building material receipts that I had bought outside the city council, outside the city of Moberly and Randolph County, and asked them if that was more important to them. At that time it was $35, was more important than the sales tax. And they said yes. When the new city manager from Crossville, Tennessee came, he got us together and we met in that little room at Hardy's. And he asked us, if we take the money out of this inspection, would you all bring your businesses back to Moberly? And we said yes. And they took the money out of the ordinance. They were going to do the inspections, but they were going to do them free. Well, a couple of weeks later, Bernie Valdez calls up City Hall, talks to Rick Ridgway, and asks him to come do an inspection. And Rick told him, quote, "We have bigger fish to fry." So what's the difference? Is it the money that you're after, or is it the safety?
It's the safety.
The fire department already does safety inspections, but they don't charge. And this charge, and what they're talking about, having these warrantless inspections, that's part of the money.
Sure.
I know there are slumlords in this town. I've cleaned up some of their properties when I bought them.
I'm going to have to ask you to finish that thought, okay?
But the city is not consistent on going after these slumlords, yet they want to harass us because we have a little bit better financial support.
Very good. Thank you very much. Anyone else to address the council? Please state your name and address, and you'll have 4 minutes as well. There you go. Pull that down a little bit.
My name is Pam Wright. I'm from 1352 County Road 1217 here in Moberly. We are landlords, and my concern is about the ordinance that we, as landlords, are required to pay the water bill that a tenant leaves unpaid when they move. In the 5th paragraph of the application for utilities, it apparently tells the tenant that any unpaid balance will be paid by the landlord. I'm sure some of them appreciate that tip. This is made even more unfair when the city threatens to turn off the water, but they allow the tenant to come up and pay just a little bit on it and a reconnect fee, and then they run up the bill bigger and bigger, and they don't ever shut it off. And some of these get to be hundreds of dollars. And we, as landlords, we don't have any control over what they're using. We don't know how much they're using. I know there are some landlords who they keep it in their own name and they skirt the issues. We don't do that. And we don't have slum houses. We do it the right way. But I don't think this is fair. I don't think it's common sense. If any of you as council members decide, I don't want to pay my water bill, then who is required to come up and pay it for you? You wouldn't expect somebody else to do it. And yet the city expects us to pay their bill. I just don't think that is common sense at all. But I do appreciate all of you people who serve on this because it's a hard job. And the first part of the meeting was boring.
It's gotten a little more exciting now, huh?
Anyway, anyway, thank you very much.
It looks like Mr. Kaiser has one question for you.
I absolutely agree with you about the water bills. This has been an issue for the last 5 years that I've known about it. We've gone through, I believe we're now in our third director in those 5 years, and it is a difficult question on how to answer because I agree, it is unfair to the landlord. And the question is, it's okay, how do we address this to make it fair for everybody? It is something that I've had those conversations and we are looking at for that. Because I agree, it is, to me, it's unfair to the landlord to get stuck with that, especially when you figure somebody moves from one location to another, brings that balance over to your house, and then skips town, and now you're paying for not only their water at your place, but maybe a previous bill. That's wrong, in my opinion, and we are trying to find a balanced and correct approach to that. And offline, I would love, if you have suggestions, I'd love to hear them.
I believe that the city of Moberly, I mean, I like all the people that work in the city department, the water department, and I don't know who's to blame, but it seems to me that the city is not, they're not quick enough on their billing. And it gets bigger and bigger before, like when the final bill comes out, a lot of people have already moved off and forgot they lived in Moberly before it comes.
Understand.
And I think they need to be quicker about the billing, time period.
So in the interest of time and out of fairness to everybody in the crowd, I will reach out to Shannon and get your contact info. I'll reach out to you and we can discuss more offline because it is a very valid issue about the water billing and making it more fair for everybody involved. So,
Thank you very much.
I knew you when you were a little boy.
I know that. I'm still not very big. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. I'm never going to hear the end of it. Next up, did you fill out a green card?
No.
Yeah, we need you to fill out a green card with your name and address on it. If you can go ahead, if you can state your name and address, and then we can have you fill it out on your way out.
I apologize. I wasn't planning on talking, but
That's all right.
Listen, I have to pitch in a little.
Mhm.
I want to answer some of the questions. Austin, you had said that it's...
Excuse me, a name and address, okay?
Oh,
Just so we can
sorry.
take it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Ivan Thomas. I live on County Road 2445, but my business is here in town. I'm not a citizen of Moberly, but can I still talk?
Yep.
Austin, you had asked, a few questions I thought were really good and poignant. You had asked, so what if your house burned down and I have to move in? I think Brandon asked that question. Well, I think that the free market solves that for the most part, and that there's home inspectors. I can throw a rock and find a home inspector, and I'm a certified home inspector. I don't inspect homes, but that's really what's the free market solves that problem. And you mentioned that it's about safety, but I don't know that it is about safety. I own or manage a few hundred rental units in town, and I don't usually have to deal with safety issues because we as landlords solve the safety issues. We don't want anybody to get hurt. What I'm dealing with is a inspector showing up and saying, well, that paint on the soffit is flaking. Like, oh, so I got to get a painter on a 30-foot ladder to take care of some flaking paint on the outside of a window or on the outside of a soffit, or I have to deal with a change in the building code where, well, previously you could have an entrance up a set of stairs, and on the outside you didn't have to have 4-inch spacing, and now you do, which is fair enough. But the code changed. I'm not putting in a new banister. So I think the real problem is that there's a real moving target. And so for me, like, I'm not here as a citizen, I'm here as a business owner, and I'm like, this is really expensive. So between me and some business partners, we have come to some conclusions. Some of my business partners have said, let's just sell everything in Moberly. And so, I mean, I just find that just heartbreaking as someone who's from here. And my business is here. I lived here for 10 years, and I'm gonna live in the county for a long, long time. But so I hope that kind of answers some of the questions. And as far as alternatives, you asked for suggestions. So as far as like the city being able to collect on a bill, every other utility company on the planet has figured out a way to collect using collectors or a deposit, a larger deposit, whatever it may be. There's no reason that you should charge me for every tenant that doesn't pay their bill. That's absurd. If Ameren did it, there'd be lawsuits out. It'd be crazy. So there's really no reason. It's not even unfair. You said it's unfair to the landlord. It's not unfair. It's illegal. I mean, it's wrong. And this guy's an attorney, so he could speak to it, and he would say maybe it's not. And I would have to disagree with Pam, and that I think we do know who's responsible, and it's not any councilman, okay? It's probably whatever attorney has said, hey, yeah, this is perfectly legal. So I would look to your counsel on that. I've never spoken to your counsel or your attorneys, but I mean, I just cannot buy for a second in this country that it's legal for you to take the liability from an individual, put it on another without an agreement from that other. There's just no way that could ever be okay. No one ever could come to me on a contract and say, well, Joe Blow signed this contract, therefore you, John Smith, need to pay for that contract. It's really wild. But I have a lot of properties here. So what am I supposed to do? Stand up and put a target on my back to the city and when I'm getting inspected every other day? I'm getting inspected every other day. The cost of an inspection is not $45. The cost of an inspection is every contractor that has to show up for the next week or two to deal with whatever it is. So, and one other thing I wanted to address, someone, I think it was Austin, said something about, in addition to a home inspector, I'd also like someone who's trained on code or building codes to inspect the home. Tom can speak to this. Your inspectors are not trained as well as a home inspector, not even remotely. I am often having to tell our occupancy inspector how things work. They do not understand, and it's okay. It's hard to hire people. I get it. But they do not know how an HVAC system works. They do not really know how an electrical system works. So I'll wrap it up. One last thing.
Last thought.
Last thought. Brandon, you said 50 communities in Missouri have occupancy permits. This is a 2-pointer. I'll be really fast. That's less than 5% of the state. And if you look at towns our size, it's way worse than that. Towns our size do not have occupancy permits in order to get a utility turned on. That's a very, very rare situation. And the alternative to that is to do what most cities do, which is it's based on reporting. A tenant reports, I have an unsafe condition. The city contacts the landlord, says you need to resolve that or less inspect it, and then inspect the solution. So the answer is that the occupancy ordinance is the worst way to solve any of the several issues involved, whether it be how to get paid, how to keep the community safe, how to keep the community property in good condition. What we have is the worst way to do it. And there's several options that are way better.
Very good. Thank you very much, Ivan. Anyone else? Next up. Ivan, don't forget to fill out that green card, please. And if you won't mind to say your name and address, and you'll have 4 minutes as well, sir.
Hi, my name's Joshua Sudholt, live over on Allen Street here in Moberly. And I really appreciate all you guys being here and having to deal with all these difficult problems. I know that you guys are very important to all of us because we know that you have to implement things, and we also know that you also have to balance that with trying to protect everyone's freedom. I mean, that's what this country's about, is making sure we have rights. It's what sets us apart from everyone else. Due process sets us apart from everyone else. We're able to follow these things. There are already things in place. Like, I really appreciate what he said. I second just about everything he said. That may sound like a general statement, but he was dead on. Ivan, appreciate you, sir. But there are already things in place. If you actually need to get a warrant, people can get a warrant. If you actually have to get a warrant, you don't have to have all of what is involved in these. There are so many things in here that are such just blatant violations that none of us, I believe none of you would want to be violated. I really believe, I don't think anybody wants to be violated. And we all want to be safe. And we all know that at any moment something bad can happen and our house can burn down and we can lose our family. And that has nothing to do with an inspection. And there is, in this free market, there is capitalism. The whole reason we're doing this stuff is because it works. When you have people feel the need You know, we can figure out ways, and I believe that you guys can figure out a better way to handle this, to make sure that people are still safe, but this doesn't actually punish slumlords. This punishes you, me, everybody in here, all the people who are renting, who are just barely trying to get by. All they want is to not have to worry about some sort of tyranny. I mean, aren't we already swamped with tyranny at every angle? I mean, these days we got so much stuff, just more bureaucracy, and then fines, and a court will hold up these fines because you guys have it in place, so it's legal, and they will hold up the fines. And someone will lose their livelihood, may even lose everything. It's unfathomable that the blatant violation of our 4th and 14th Amendment rights, when there are already things in place, people can go get a warrant. They know how. There's lawyers. They know what to do. They can do it. If they need to get in a home, they will get the warrant. If they have the evidence, it'll happen. But we don't need to have just any time within a year, we're coming in. I mean, I don't want anybody to get hurt. And what if somebody who has just a job that doesn't know what they're doing, they just have a job, they're not making a better inspection than anybody else, and they get harmed by someone who is defending their home, and they're not legally defending their home, but they're constitutionally defending their home? I want it to be together. Let's make it smooth. Let's fix it. Let's make it work out. I don't want anybody violated. I don't want anybody's life in danger. But if somebody's rights are being violated, people lose it quick, and there's no need for it. We can do something better. And so I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening to me. I'm just kind of emotional about it because I've read through so many of these issues, and there's so many little bitty things that have to change. So thank you very much. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Nope, don't think so. Thank you very much. Okay, anyone else? Nobody else wants to come up and speak? Well, one thing that I would like to say is we do appreciate that everyone comes speak to the council. Obviously, we don't know what's on your minds unless you come to us and you inform us, and we'll take all of this information back and discuss, talk about it, that kind of thing. So we do appreciate you being here. So with that being said, I guess we don't have anything else on the agenda, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn to work session followed by a closed session to discuss the status of negotiated contract matters. Got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Roll call, please.
Lucas?
Yes.
Kimmons?
Yes.
Kaiser?
Yes.
McEwen?
Yes.
Graff?
Yes.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming. Okay, we'll go ahead and move right into the work session part of our meeting. If I can find the agenda. Where'd my agenda go? There we go. Okay, moving on to number 1, a request from Brittany Long to hold a Colts Cure 5K on September 7th, 2024.
So this is a new 5K. We've never done it before. They never made the request for us. It's a simple, straightforward deal. They request to have a 5K as a fundraiser. I'm not exactly sure what it is. There is a slight conflict between this one and one that's already going on in the park. The JROTC already has a 5K going at the same time. However, that 5K is on the walking trail. This one will pass through the park on the roadway. So it's just a normal 5K. It's the same route that the turkey trot uses. It's just in reverse. So we don't have any objections to this point in time to it.
Any objections or any questions for Chief?
Do they know, do they know that there's another 5K at that same time?
I didn't know it when she put in the request. I don't know if Shirley said anything to him or not. I get the request and I put it through. She told me because it was in the park, it hadn't gone through council. I had never seen that request because it was on the walking trail, and a 5K in a walking trail doesn't require any street permission.
I understand that. Troy?
Yes, they are aware. We informed them of it. They had already advertised and taken registrations, so this is an effort to find a way to make it work because the cart got before the horse.
Got it.
Okay. Any objection to moving that forward to the next council meeting? Nope. Hearing none, we will move that forward. Number 2, a resolution approving a single source purchase agreement with Lexipol to update police department policies.
So our policies was last updated as a whole in 2014. Some of them have been updated as required by MIRMA, as there's been some legislative changes and also changes in the insurance, but only about 7 or 8 of the total policies. A few other ones have been updated on our parts because they need to be worded. Essentially, we're at a point in time when the entire process needs to be redone. In order to modernize and update the policy manual, it usually requires a company like Lexipol to come in and do that. I'm not aware of another company that does it. And when I checked out with MIRMA representative, they don't recommend anybody else either to do this level of an overhaul of policies. So that's why it gets into a single source. And they basically said this is all we would recommend for that purchase, for that purpose only. The original proposal I got from Lexipol was about $2,000 higher than the most recent one. So it actually went down in what I got from back in January from them. So what they'll propose at this point in time is a $13,629, and that's a yearly fee. So not only do they do an upgrade on for us, they also do archiving all of our policies. They provide some resources to us so that we can put out electronically to have our officers review policies, show that they electronically check them, and also allows them availability to get our policies on their mobile apps as we move that process forward. So we think that this was a good solution to updating all of our policies in one shot and then keeping them current moving forward. Lexipol will notify us and submit policy recommendation or changes based on changes to legislature or at the Supreme Court that may affect how we do business. So we recommend that as a solution to that updated in our policies.
Very good. So the upfront $13,629, and then the yearly.
I think the yearly is the same to do that, and that's a monitoring service, and then they track everything as part of that archiving all of our policies. So a policy that's changed on January 1st and policy has to change again on March 1st because of what it changes, those policies or those changes are all tracked electronically by Lexipol. I don't have that ability to do it right now. We change policies, and I don't necessarily know what the policy we had 6 months looks like unless I go find a hard copy of it. Because we change it in our computer system that makes it available to them, so it's not archived.
I agree with the need, but did we budget for this? Is this something that we?
Yeah, this was in the CIP.
Okay.
I was gonna say, so it's, just so I understand, it's 13,000 a year.
I believe that's correct. This one's gonna be 13, whatever it is, 696, and I think that's gonna be a yearly charge by Lexipol. At least it's gonna give us, the first year is gonna get us our updates, then it would become, what's it gonna cost to do the maintenance down the road? But I think from the proposals that I got, it was gonna be, that's the fee every year.
Okay. Any other questions for Chief? No. Any objections to moving this forward to the next council meeting? Hearing none, we will move this forward to the next council meeting. Number 3, notification to local governing body of police department intent to request property from the federal government.
Basically, the presidential decree that was President Executive Order 14074 requires that we provide notifications to our administrative body and to the public that we would request permission to continue to apply for grants and or services and or equipment through the federal government. And it may be any of those things on the list that's on that letter. That's essentially what it is. We currently have some patrol rifles and things of that nature. One of our tactical vehicles is one of these 1033 products as well. There's an exhaustive requirement by the federal government and by the Missouri Department of Public Safety that tracks and accounts of that. Like twice a year, we have to provide photos that we still have them with serial numbers and all that to make sure that it doesn't inadvertently disappear. So that's what that process is to meet those requirements.
Any questions regarding number 3? Any objections to moving it forward?
Nope.
Hearing none, we will move that one forward. And number 4, proposal from Notionfront for a video and photography project for the police department's advertising and recruitment.
So we had spoke with Randall down at Notionfront, and actually this was brought up when we had the budget meetings. One of the first ones we spoke about this. I had waited or was waiting to get input or feedback. Does anybody want anything specific? You want to see anything particular? I got nothing back. I checked with the city manager. He said, go ahead and move it forward. Notionfront has done business with several businesses in town. They are proposing a packet in our $5,000 price range is what we set. We think that will meet all of our needs, but not be overly egregious as far as cost, but will meet the photography and the video feeds that we need, that we want. And basically, it is to showcase the police department, showcase several of the programs we have, showcase the increases in salary that we did last year, and also serve as a recruitment tool not only to people living in our community that may want to go to the academy, but also officers from other departments. We did not go out and get bids because I didn't know of any other businesses in town that did this, or even had to go find that one. And basically, this is going to fit under the single source purchase as well, just like the Lexipol.
I thought the price seemed like that was pretty fair for everything they were offering. Seemed like it was pretty good.
So he's been after me for the proposal. I said, I got to wait for council, and because of the council meetings, so this is why it was time to go through for that. So,
Any questions regarding this? Nope. Any objections to moving this one forward? Nope. Hearing none, we'll move that forward.
thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Number 5, a resolution authorizing the Moberly Fire Department to purchase a hose roller unit from Roland Rack LLC.
How we doing?
Hi, Chief.
Howdy. All right. You didn't have it probably in your packet because Greg asked me for a letter. I got 2 letters for sole source also. Roland Rack is proprietary. They're the only one that makes it. There's some out there that are different, but this is reliable. We've had one in the past, so that's why we went with it again. And the fact that we're comfortable with it. So, but we also, I don't know if you have that letter, but I can get the letter sent through to you, forwarded through you through Greg at that point.
I don't see the letter, but that's okay. Any questions for Chief regarding this issue? Any objections to moving this forward?
Nope.
We'll move this forward to the next council meeting.
Thank you.
Number 6, a resolution authorizing the Moberly Fire Department to purchase a Polaris Ranger Crew XP Emergency Response Edition brush unit with blade.
Yeah, this is the big
This is the big
ticket
boy.
item. I have. This is also a sole source deal with the shopping around. There's other companies that make side-by-sides and all that, but by the time you put everything together, you're basically talking the same amount of money. This is all done in one house. Everything's, the only thing we're gonna have to put in this, by the understanding I got from all the specs, is that we'll have to put a radio in it. And we already have the radio, so, but it comes with the light bars, all the other stuff that's in there. The fire pump has a 70-gallon water tank plus 3 gallons of foam in it. It's got a half side for a separational scoop stretcher that we can use it for EMS also. But
Wow.
to cover our brush truck issues that we have, we don't have anything that's going to be able to really get into the park and do anything good besides a lot of firefighter hunting with what they call a water bladder to try to get down to the trails. This should be able to get us down the trails itself. So.
Okay. Mr. Kimmons, you have a question?
Chief, is this, I know you mentioned this before, and you said we had nothing that could help us when we get on that nature trails on the backside of the park.
The only thing we have right now is basically a 1-ton Dodge pickup flatbed truck. It's got a calf system on it that if we get it out into the field with any kind of moisture or just the fact that we're dumping water on it because of the fire, then we're going to get stuck. No, we're going to just burn that up. So this shouldn't get stuck.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we basically went after this to begin with, is the fact that we feel that there's a big section of the town that we're not going to be able to really cover well without this unit. So.
Any other questions for Chief? Any objections to moving this forward to the next council meeting? Hearing none, we'll move this forward. Number 7, a request for approving a resolution authorizing the Moberly Fire Department to purchase rope rescue unit, replacing old and or outdated equipment.
Pretty self-explanatory. The stuff we have right now, we have a lot of equipment that's either getting to the point where it's outdated or it's just old and needs to be replaced. What we've done is did some quoting, and we're going to piece together off all the different quotes and try to come up with a different thing. If things are going like we hope they are, what we've asked for, we're probably going to be underneath that probably a good, right around at least $1,000. So that'll save us some money there.
Good. Okay, any questions? Nope. Hearing none. Any objections to moving this forward? Okay. We will move that forward. Number 8, a resolution authorizing the Moberly Fire Department to purchase a hose testing machine from Dingus Fire Company.
That's me again. So our hose testing machine, we pieced it back together multiple times. We're making it work right now. I'm not sure it's going to survive the rest of it, but we're in the middle of trying to do hose testing now with it. It's just time to replace it. It's old and outdated, and the one we're getting is going to be similar to it. That one's lasted. I don't even know when they actually bought that one, but it's been there for quite a few years, according to the gentleman there. So it's a reliable enough type of testing machine, but it's just time to replace it.
Okay. Any questions? Any objections to moving this forward? Move this forward to the next council meeting. Thank you, Chief. Number 9, a request to purchase a Carlson BRX7 GPS network rover for the Capital Projects Department. Mr. Steve.
Yes, this is a survey grade GPS unit that I'll be able, for the short term, I will be exclusively using it. And then going forward, I would like to train staff to use it. It will, all of our projects require as-built when they're done. So say a water or sewer line, I'll be able, since I'm going to be doing most of the construction observation, I'll be able to locate those water line as it goes in, water valves, fire hydrants, etc. Instead of us paying a consultant $150 an hour to come do that. For our GIS system, where we're missing manhole elevations, different things like that, I'll be able to go out and retrieve that information as we need it. Fill in those blanks. Like I said, it's, anytime we have to have a consultant come in, you're looking at $100 an hour or something by the unit. Example, most of our infrastructure on the utility side is mapped, except we don't have any mapping done on our water meters. So no locations of our water meters are on our GIS. We hired a company to do it. It'd probably be right at $100,000. We can probably do that in-house for a fraction of that over time as staff has time to do it. There's no learning curve here. I've used that system and that software for 20 years. So, it's updated, but there's no learning curve or training that has to be done on it. So
I have 2 questions. Number 1, is anybody else going to, let's say you decide to depart and go somewhere else, does anybody else know how to use this unit, or does it just go sit dormant?
I would like to train people.
Let's have a backup. Let's have some redundancy there.
My plan is to train Chris Bohm and Lindsey Trusty both.
Very good. And then the other question would be, in the document, it said that we were going to be saving a considerable amount of money by not hiring some of these outside firms because we have this. Does anybody by any chance know how much we're going to save, or how much we spend with these GIS or GPS companies?
We spend a fortune with the GIS. I don't know what that number is, but any place we have a blank, we would have to hire them to come fill it in. So we had a little instance just last week where we needed one manhole elevation. I couldn't get it. I had to call on a survey buddy just to come get that manhole in for me.
And that would have probably cost us a couple $100.
Oh yeah, if you could get somebody to show up for that,
Gotcha.
Nobody wants to come just take one GPS shot on something, Or if we got a project going on and they need, hey, we got a handful of things on this, that our surveyor missed. Hey, can we get this information for us? That's kind of my plans.
Did you have something?
I can get with Steve and we can get a report on how much we spent over last year.
That'd just be interesting to know.
Yeah. If he gives a little bit of direction, we can get a report for you.
Very good. Any other questions? Nope. Any objections to moving this forward? Okay. Number 10. Thank you, Steve. Number 10, a resolution accepting a quitclaim deed from the Warren and Helen Hutton Family Living Trust for real estate located at 901 Henry Street. Mr. Sander.
These are just 2 properties that are dilapidated, and the owners are deceased. It's in an estate, and the living relative is in the towers and doesn't have the funding or ability to do anything with it. This would be, we're gonna end up tearing them down and having a tax bill against it. This makes it cleaner, getting just to quit paying them to us where we have them and can turn them over faster for redevelopment.
Any questions for Mr. Sanders? Any objections to moving this forward? All right, we'll move that one forward. And last but not least, number 11, consideration of 3 appointments to the Planning and Zoning Commission. So ultimately, I think what the council, if I can get to that page real quick.
Mr. Mayor, we had 3 positions on planning and zoning come open, and we had applications from Ms. Jane Lober, Mr. Howard Meadler, Ms. Lisa Vanderberg, Mr. Bob Riley, Ms. Lorna Miles, and Mr. Jerry Schwartz.
Okay, so the council, as discussed, and believe the 3 individuals that the council has selected to move forward would be Jane Lober, Lorna Miles, and Jerry Schwartz. Any questions as far as from the council on those recommendations moving forward? Hearing none, any objection to moving them forward? Okay, we'll move that forward to the next council meeting. And that's it. We've lost our audience, but that's it. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Got a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by aye. All opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.